Hello, adventurers of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 45th episode of our Feat series. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of my all-time favorite feats, and one that I quite frankly put on almost every character I build and play. Today we're going to be taking a look at the one, the only, Ritual Caster. Found in the Player's Handbook, this is probably the wordiest feat currently existing in 5e. It's 2 full paragraphs, and there's a lot to it, and a lot to dissect. With that out of the way, let's take a look at the description and really suss out the details here. First and foremost, there are 2 things I just need to brush on real quick. The first is, in order to accommodate the sheer length of this feat, I actually had to do it into 2 separate parts. So this one on the screen right now would just be the first part. Secondly, there is a prerequisite, and that is that you gotta have a 13 or higher in either your intelligence or wisdom, which, kind of makes sense if you're looking at casting spells. In any case, let's take a look at the description here so we can break it down a little bit later on. You have learnt a number of spells that you can cast as rituals. These spells are written in a ritual book, which you must have in hand while casting one of them. When you choose this feat, you acquire a ritual book holding 2 first-level spells of your choice. Choosing one of the following classes, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard, you must choose your spells from that class's spell list, and the spells you choose must have the ritual tag. The class you choose also determines your spellcasting ability for these spells. Charisma for Bard, Sorcerer, or Warlock, Wisdom for Cleric or Druid, or Intelligence for Wisdom. That is the first paragraph. Holy moly, lots going on there. Let's take a look at the second one now. If you come across a spell in written form, such as a magical spell scroll or wizard spellbook, you might be able to add it to your ritual book. The spell must be on the level list, or must be on the spell list for the class you choose. The spell's level can be no higher than half your level, which is rounded up, and it must have the ritual tag. The process of copying the spell into your ritual book takes 2 hours per level of the spell and costs 50 gold piece per level. The cost represents the material components you expend as you experiment with the spell to master it, as well as the fine inks you need to record it. Oh, holy moly, what a mouthful that stuff is. Let's break it down and really simplify this so we can better digest and understand the mechanics. Let's take a look at the walkthrough here. So first step, choose a spell casting class. Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard. Pretty easy. Second, pick 2 first-level spells from their lists. They must have the ritual tag and can only be casted as rituals, which means you add an extra 10 minutes onto whatever the current cast time is. Super convenient, super nice, super easy. And the whole second paragraph can basically summed up as, you can copy another spell from their class list so long as the spell's level is equal or less than your own, and that is rounded up. And it has the ritual tag. You spend 2 hours per level, and you pay 5 or 50 gold piece per level. So pretty easy there. Honestly, I really like this one. It's something I would like to point out before we get on to my personal thoughts. It's your level, or it's half your level rounded up. So what that means is, if you're like, let's say, a level 5, you can actually cast level 3 ritual spells, which is super, super good. Honestly, my DM got a little mad at me when I used this to cast some level 3 spells at level 5. I'm an arcane trickster, so this really helps broaden my horizons. That being said, let's look at my personal thoughts on this. So, if I was a DM, and if you're a DM actually, and you're having a hard time with your players with this ritual, You can really enforce that 50 gold points, the fact that they have to find the spell, stuff like that more strictly. My current DM doesn't really care for it. If you play Adventures League, they don't really keep track of that stuff anyway, so there's no real need to. But if you really wanted to stop this from wrecking your game, that'd be a good way to do it. That being said, if you're a player character and you really want to take advantage of this, you know who benefits most? Honestly, just about everyone. It depends on the campaign. Obviously, if you're a wizard or a warlock and you can already ritual cast, this might not be the best for you. But if you are let's say, a paladin, right? So you have really good charisma, but you can't ritual cast and your spell horizon is fairly limited, it might be worth taking a look at one of the other classes and seeing what they can provide for you. So I think paladins would probably gain the most from it just because of that. Most of the other casters can cast as rituals as well, so it's not super beneficial for them either way. That being said, if you just needed to provide some more utility to your character, it works for everyone. For example, like Tensor's Floating Disc, that's a ritual spell. You can grab that. Find Familiar, that's a ritual spell. You can grab that. I would highly recommend grabbing Find Familiar for this, just because your Familiar can take the help action. You can cast spells through them. Like, they are definitely worth it, 1000%. And the fact that you can just add to it as you continue your adventure means it actually gets stronger as you level, and you know how I feel about that. The best feats in the game are relevant at every level, and this is most certainly one of those. Honestly, this is, once again, I put it on all my characters. I find it incredibly useful. It really helps add diversity to your choices. And, you know, I think it's kind of fun. That being said, that's all I have to really say on it. Honestly, I could go on all day, but that's the important stuff at the very least. If you have any comments regarding Ritual Caster, any combos, any cool stories, or any thoughts, please put it down in the comments below. I really like reading them. I know everyone else likes to tune into them as well. Thank you so much, guys. Happy adventuring, and have a great day.